Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live reaction to episode 125 of Memphis Wrestling. Of course, I am Dustin Starr. Let's talk some Memphis Wrestling, but first, I want to remind you that tomorrow, right here at the WrestleCenter, we have a main event like no other. First time ever. The AEW superstar Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer is coming to Memphis Wrestling, and he might have the AEW International Championship with him. He's going one-on-one with the Monster Cruel. You can save $5 in advance with the code word Archer at checkout. Go to memphiswrestling.tv for more information. Today's episode was awesome. Huge main event. We have a new #1 contender to the Memphis Wrestling Women's Championship and so much more. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about the show today. What's going on, everybody? Robert, hello. Justice, what's going on? Steve. There's Sam. Said just wanted to say much love, Dustin. I hope everything's going well. Everything is going really well. Today here at the WrestleCenter, Dr. Tom Pritchard is conducting a pro wrestling seminar, and you still have time to register. So if you are a wrestler or you're an aspiring professional wrestler, go to WrestleCenter901.com. There are still just a couple of spots available to register, but that's going down at 5 p.m. today, 3296 Winbrook Drive in Memphis. What's up, Vicky? How you doing? Rob, can the Murder Hawk kill the undead Cruel? You know, that's a good question, Rob. How do you kill what isn't alive? We're going to find out tomorrow when everybody dies. And of course, it's going to air right here on Memphis Wrestling. Thank you guys for joining us. Rob says, great show. I appreciate it. Alex Story World, Dustin, could Trinity make history tonight? I hope so. I love Trinity. And also you can see her in action here in Memphis, Tennessee with Impact Wrestling at Graceland on September 22nd and September 23rd. Those advanced tickets are on sale right now, and it is absolutely star-studded. So if you're in the Mid-South area, check out Impact Wrestling Mid-South Mayhem at Graceland, September 22nd and 23rd. I'd love to actually have Trinity here on Memphis Wrestling. That would be awesome. Ben, how are you? Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. He says, good afternoon. I'm excited for tomorrow. Hope the ring is reinforced for Archer and Cruel. You know, that's a really good point. Both of these guys are near 7 foot tall, 300 pounders. And if you saw the Murder Hawk Monster last night on Rampage, this dude is not in a good mood, and he is bigger than ever. And of course, you guys know Cruel. You've seen him here on Memphis Wrestling. It's going to be a showdown between two monsters. And you know, I'm not necessarily worried about the ring, Ben. I'm worried about everything surrounding the ring, because there's no telling what these guys will destroy. You saw what Tommy Dreamer and PCO did to the place. Brody, what's going on, brother? Hopefully I'll see you out here, Brody. I know I'm going to see you at AutoZone Park on Friday, July 28th. That's going to be a lot of fun. Also, big shout out to Ingomar Attendance Center and the Ingomar Falcons baseball team. They had us out on Thursday, had an awesome event. You guys will see some of those clips and stuff coming up on Memphis Wrestling, and of course, right here on this YouTube channel. Check us out on social media, and you'll see a bunch of the photos from that. Really, really good night. Raised a bunch of money for Ingomar baseball. Breezy, what's going on? You got a new last name on there. Congratulations. Robert says Colton Cage should get a shot at Bosby. Now that would be one heck of a contest. Colton Cage versus Tim Bosby. And speaking of Colton Cage, he extended his winning streak today over main event Bradley. What a match. Say what you want about the Stinker Horns or Baldy or whatever, but main event Bradley, he's a tough opponent. Rob says, how big is Memphis Wrestling over the air TV? How do you mean? We are syndicated in Cookeville, Tennessee, Jonesboro, Arkansas, which Cookeville is near the Knoxville area, all throughout Mississippi. We're now in Georgia, Jackson, Tennessee, of course, Memphis, Tennessee with CW30. We're on Fight TV Plus. So if you have a Fight Plus subscription, you can watch Memphis Wrestling there. And then, of course, right here on YouTube. But elaborate your question and I can answer further. But yeah, pretty big footprint for Memphis Wrestling Television. Vicky says, doing good, great show. Well, thank you for watching. Old School Dave says, woo-wee. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll take it. Colton slapped the bald off of Brad. Well, he certainly tried to. Lurvy says, hello, Dustin. Some fans ask, why is the pile driver banned in Memphis Wrestling while other promotions use the finishing move in theirs? Okay, so Tiger Joe made an appearance or two here at Memphis Wrestling, picked a fight with Derek King. You can watch all this on our YouTube channel right here. Just type in Tiger Joe. Well, Derek King thought it'd be a good idea to pile drive Tiger Joe, which caused a whole lot of trouble that you guys don't even want to know about. And then the pile driver was banned due to legal action. So no pile drivers in Memphis Wrestling due to legal reasons concerning Tiger Joe. But go check that out. Just type Tiger Joe into the playlist or into the search there and you'll see it. Crazy stuff. Justice says Tim Grind was awesome on TV today. I thought so too. I thought we were going to crown a new champion, and that's the business dog. But let me ask you guys, what happened to Lance? We saw Lance at the beginning of the show, and then we saw Tim trying to get in touch with Lance. So something has happened to Lance, or he just had something better to do. Maybe play video games or something. Who knows? But I'm sure that we're going to see. So stay tuned. More on that as it develops. Let me get caught back up here. Willie says, hey, Dustin, that was a great match. Cassandra Golden versus Mackenzie Morgan. Yes, big congratulations to MKZ for picking up the 1, 2, 3. It looks like not only has she earned her shot at Nyx, her former best friend, but for the first time ever, Mackenzie Morgan will get an opportunity at the Memphis Wrestling Women's Championship. That is awesome within her first year in the wrestling business. Jamie Davis, what's going on, brother? Send me some photos. I'm waiting. You know what I'm waiting on. Rob says MKZ win was a surprise with all Cassandra's experience. I totally agree. I thought Cassandra definitely had the advantage there, but Mackenzie Morgan, she pulled it out. Nice sportsmanship there, too. Alex Storyworld says, Dustin, have you thought about having both men run it back, another match, and a last man standing? Having both men run it back. Who do you want to run back in a last man standing match, Alex? Sorry, I'm not following. Lamb says, big TV taping tomorrow for Memphis Wrestling. Lance Archer versus Cruel. Oh, yeah. And also the Memphis Wrestling tag team titles will be on the line. The women's champion will be in action. I don't know if you guys saw, but the women's division is absolutely loaded. So go to our social channels and see. But we have a star-studded lineup coming up tomorrow. Now, I believe ringside seats are all sold out. But there are still seats available. There's going to be 2 VIPs, one at 12:30 for Cruel, and also the Stars of Memphis Wrestling. And then at 4:30, immediately following the show, there's a VIP with the Murder Hawk monster, Lance Archer. It'll take place at about 4:30, and then we have our media scrum immediately following. Lance Archer will be a part of that. You do not have to stay for the media scrum if you do not want to. VIP comes first, then Archer will head over here to answer questions from the fans. So, all one ticket price, just like always, championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. Rob says every seat in the house is front row at some point, especially if you got Cruel and Archer fighting around the building. What's up, Eric? How are you? Breezy said, been married about 2 months. I know, but this is the first time I've seen on your profile the new last name. Larry says, Memphis Wrestling is my #1 promotion in the South, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, New Mexico. I may be a fan from Canada, but the indie pro wrestling scene in the South has really caught my eye. Well, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for watching from Canada. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Canada, that's where Archer's flying in from here tonight. So hopefully he's got a little bit of extra in his luggage, if you know what I'm saying. Patrick says, I hope you get to book Danny Limelight soon because you did a great job hyping him versus Brett Michaels, and I don't want to see it wasted. Well, I mean, Danny Limelight came out, he called out the gun show, and they ended up fighting together instead of each other. I would love to see Danny Limelight not only come and defend the title against the gun show, but selfishly, I would like to see a gun show lariat. Boom! And a new champion, I'll tell you that. Vicky says, yes, Colton Cage against Bosby. That would be a good match. DK and Ray Ray will beat the Olsen twins. Ray Ray has had a little bit of difficulty with larger opponents, so keep that in mind. Alex Story World, you guys booked anywhere in Alabama yet? No, but our TV does touch a little bit of Alabama throughout Georgia and Alabama. Steve G, I hope UWN gets a TV deal soon in SoCal. I can't imagine that they wouldn't. That's their home station. The only reason that they don't have television there is because the station sold. So what I would imagine with the fall lineup coming, you'll see some sort of announcement at some point very soon. Arturo, hello, Dustin Starr. How are you doing today? I'm doing awesome. Rob says, where's Lance? Have no idea. Stay tuned to next week on Memphis Wrestling. Eric says, have you heard of a wrestler, Alejandra Lyon? No, I have not. Eric said, I'd love to see MKZ wrestle her. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, guys. Rob says, put Lance's picture on a milk carton. It's actually a really good idea, Rob. That sounds like a social media post. Lurvy says the O'Neal sisters sold Cassandra Golden's wrestling tights to make them their own. DK and Ray Ray getting some much needed revenge on the O'Neals. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I'm just going to tell you. Alex says, Dustin, what if a high flyer like Blake Christian does a flip driver? Is it considered a pile driver? I guess that would be at the discretion of the referee that's officiating the match. And then from there, it would probably go to the championship committee. So I would say yes, that is a pile driver. Jamie says, smells like drama with Lance. To me, I agree with you. Who's behind it? Alex says, Murder Hawk versus the Undead. I can't wait to see it live. Rob says, no Matt the Rat or Gaston. Yay. Well, they both had very difficult weeks out at Ingomar Attendance Center when they went one-on-one with Big John Dalton, of course, in the Dirty Bird Brawl, and then Gaston had Mackenzie Morgan one-on-one. Willie says Mackenzie Morgan will whoop that Trick Nix. Okay. If she does, she'll be the new champion. Rob says MKZ will be a 3-on-1 match. MKZ will be outnumbered. Is Jake coming with Archer? No, Steve, but I wish Jake would come with Archer. That would be awesome. Big Jake the Snake fan. Lamb says you can get Memphis Wrestling merch like Dustin wears right now. Yeah, go to championshipdrip.com or you can just go to Pro Wrestling Tees. It's easy. ProWrestlingTees.com/Memphis Wrestling. Got to pick up a Memphis Vince t-shirt. That's a joke, guys. Alex, I would love to see AEW Nick Wayne versus Memphis Wrestling's Colton Cage. Yeah, Murder Hawk is awesome. I agree. Arturo, I would help DePope fight against Reverend Ash Taylor and his sheep. He might need some help. There's quite a few of them. Jamie says, is there going to be a guest female wrestler tomorrow? Yes, actually, we have Brooklyn coming in. It'll be our first look at Brooklyn. She's going to be there at the 12:30 VIP, so Brooklyn will be debuting tomorrow on Memphis Wrestling. If you want to know more about her, just go to our Instagram or our Facebook page. You can check her out. Rob says the South loves their hometown wrestling heroes better than carpetbaggers from WWE. Not sure what that means. Robert, Dustin, which one will you watch, Collision or Slammiversary? Definitely watch Collision because AEW because Lance Archer is going to be on there and he's going to win the International Championship from Orange Cassidy. And then he's going to bring it to Memphis tomorrow. John says, hi, Dustin. Hope you and the family and extended wrestling family are doing well. We are, John. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Here's Van Vicious. Gun Show has bigger problems right now. Well, Van Vicious, how's your eye? Because after Thursday, I know it's got to be black and blue after that Gun Show lariat. So we'll see Van Vicious and his black eye in all its glory coming up, I'm sure. Lurvy, do you think the posse might have something to do with Lance Grind's appearance? Simon and Chris love to stick their nose in everyone's business. You know what? It would not surprise me at all. And now that you mention that, we did not see the posse on today's program. Buddy Jones, what's up? Looking forward to seeing Murder Hawk Monster. I wish I could see him on AEW more. Tony Khan would rather book a guy who rides his mom's minivan instead of a guy who looks like he would eat the minivan. Well, last night, I think Archer destroyed Trent Beretta, and he might have ate his van. I'm not sure, but I totally agree. Love seeing Lance Archer on AEW. Hope he picks up the big victory tonight. Patrick says, Dustin, talk to David Marquez about it and make it happen. Dave Marquez does not make that happen. Just letting you know. If Danny Limelight shows up here in Memphis Wrestling, it's because he showed up. He challenged the Gun Show. Vicky, be cool if Jake the Snake would be in the corner of Murder Hawk. Totally agree. Never know what might happen on Memphis Wrestling. Ben says, have you thought about Kurt Angle to appear at a future taping? I'd love to have Kurt Angle. Are you kidding me? Would there be a women's tag division in Memphis Wrestling? Probably not, Rodney. It's a 1-hour program, and oh my gosh. Yeah, it's not even really a 1-hour program. What is it, a 46-minute program? Where would you put them? I don't dislike the idea. I would love to have tag team champions for the women's division here in Memphis Wrestling, but there's only so much time on the program. Good thought. Willie says, Dustin, where in Memphis I can find good fast food that has good double cheeseburgers and fish sandwiches? Well, I would have to say Sonic Drive-In. I think they have fish sandwiches. Big double cheeseburger. Corky's Barbecue making their debut at the WrestleCenter tomorrow. I might swing by there as well. Rob says the O'Neills have cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch haircuts. Okay. Lurvy, 2 monsters appearing in Memphis soon. Archer, the Murder Hawk Monster versus Mads Kruger. That's right, tomorrow, live. Antonio, Joe Hendry would be great opponent for Van Vicious. Old School Dave, the Vince T is my fave. Eric, do you know MKZ Twitter handle? I don't know it off the top of my head, but if you just type in Mackenzie Morgan, it will come up. Uncle Mikey will be back soon. Actually, I want to make the announcement. Mikey will be here live tomorrow at Memphis Wrestling, so you'll see him on the program very soon. Van says it's not funny. I can't wait to see that eye tomorrow. Hope you're right. Hope Archer wins tonight. Man, it would be awesome to have Lance Archer walk through that curtain with the AEW International Championship over his shoulder, because you know he's not wearing it around his waist. Lurvy says, I'm expecting the O'Neills to be dressed in hellish hillbilly outfits. Do you guys think that people in Memphis walk around with overalls and barefoot with straws in their mouth or whatever? Maybe on Memphis Wrestling TV. Dustin, if you could pick any female wrestler from AEW to face any woman from Memphis Wrestling, who would it be? I think I would go Becky Lynch versus any of the females on Memphis Wrestling. I would take that any day of the week. Or Trish Stratus would be fantastic to have here. Van Vicious says, keep laughing. Black Eye Van, that might be a good nickname. Lurvy says, Van Vicious, you are a sight to be laughed at. Jonesy, cannot wait for Mikey's return tomorrow. I've had people asking me about Mikey. Get ready. Rob says, too much wrestling for 1 hour. Would you like to have Stone Cold as special commentary or guest referee? Why can't he do both? Has Mikey's mustache grown back? That's a great question. We'll find out the answer tomorrow. Vicky says, great, Mikey will be back. What happened to Lance? That's the burning question. Stay tuned next week on Memphis Wrestling, and we might find out the answer. The Pope versus Reverend Ash Hole Taylor is going to be a great match. I hope we don't see Reverend Ash Taylor inside the ring competing against the Pope. I definitely hope it's somebody else. But next week, right here on Memphis Wrestling, the Pope will be in action against the Righteous Path. That's going to be the main event. And hopefully we'll find out what happened to Lance McCade, Tim Grind's son, who was at the WrestleCenter, but then disappeared and was not there for the main event. You could see that Tim Grind was trying to call him, trying to text him, yelling for him, but then had to go straight to the ring. We did not see or hear from Lance. We have no idea, but stay tuned. Also, MemphisWrestlingPlus.com might be a good place that news will break. Rob says, I hope the Pope sends Ash Ho to the altar to repent. We'll see. That's all going on next week. Tomorrow, we are live here at the WrestleCenter, 3296 Winbrook Drive. Get your tickets at MemphisWrestling.tv. Use the code word Archer. You'll save $5. Check this out. General admission is $10. You use the code word Archer and you save $5. That means you can get into Memphis Wrestling for only $5. How ridiculous is that? Take advantage of that right now. I have a couple of more minutes. Put those questions in here, and then I've got to run. Dr. Tom Pritchard is in the house here today at the WrestleCenter. He's going to do a pro wrestling seminar. One of the greatest wrestling managers in the history of the world. I don't care what anybody says. Every superstar nearly that you watch on television today, big superstars, were trained or had some sort of training for Dr. Tom Pritchard. That is definitely a guarantee, especially The Rock, the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. Let me get caught up here, guys. Isn't the Pope R-Truth? Dude, the Pope is looking like R-Truth. That is, oh man, I'm not going to be able to unsee that now. By the way, love R-Truth. Started his career here in Memphis at Memphis Championship Wrestling. Lurvy says, any more wrestlers from the 2000 and 2010s to wrestle in Memphis Wrestling? Tim Grind and Derek King are great examples of that. Yes, stay tuned. We've got more of that on the way. Also, we've talked to some of the classic legends of Memphis Wrestling, like Dr. Tom Pritchard, so you'll be seeing some of those talents come through here as well. Jacob says, do you announce the Redbirds? Yes, I was actually there last night. We've got a huge wrestling night coming up on Friday, July 28th. Those tickets are available right now at MemphisWrestling.tv. You'll see the Redbirds banner. Click that. We have pregame matches, And then we'll have Memphis Wrestling all throughout the baseball game and a huge main event to close out the night. That's wrestling night coming up Friday, July 28th. Get those tickets. Memphis Wrestling during a baseball game? Oh, yeah. Patrick said, I think I have an idea if you get a women's tag team division done, but maybe you could get a UWN women's tag team division. They can travel to 3 brands so you don't have to use them every week. That's a good idea, Patrick. The only problem is that Derby City Wrestling books their TV tapings on the same day as Memphis Wrestling. So there would definitely be a conflict. Rob says, you answered my question about the TV broadcast. Lots of outlets, lots of eyes on the show. Yes, and then also YouTube. You guys have been so awesome. That audience grows each and every week because of you guys liking, commenting, and sharing, and just enjoying what you do. And I promise that we're going to keep doing our best each and every week to even get better and better and better. Van Vicious, you won't be laughing tomorrow. Tomorrow is can't miss. Oh, that's every time I see your name on the screen, Van. Buddy Jones, don't know what happened to Lance, but we had a few beers missing from our cooler while we were inside. So wait a minute, while you guys were tailgating, you think Lance was out having your beers? Get out of here, Jonesy. Buddy, you're crazy. Vicky, if I was Pope, I would make sure the numbers are even on the outside of the ring. That's a good idea. Send him a tweet. Arturo, for the happy couple, Dustin and Maria, I'm Arturo. See you next week on Memphis Wrestling. Thanks, Arturo. Lamb, thanks for your time, Dustin. Talk to you later. Thank you so much, Lamb. I really appreciate it. Good stuff as always. Can you save enough with the code to buy some Okay, so Corky's Barbecue now, Rob. Corky's Barbecue debuting right here at the WrestleCenter tomorrow, and I cannot wait. Thanks again, Dustin. Enjoy the week ahead. Thank you, Lurvy. Appreciate it. What's up, Ashton? How are you? Can't wait for tomorrow. Me either. Old School Dave, what's the lore behind the Memphis Vince t-shirt? Is that your old wrestling name? No. Okay, so here's the shoot on that. I did not come up with Memphis Vince. The posse came up with Memphis Vince. That's what they were calling me. I don't know, several months back on Memphis Wrestling. A t-shirt popped up, and now all of a sudden everybody thinks that I think that I'm Memphis Vince. So there you go. That's the lore behind that. Van Vicious, of course you won't be laughing with another black eye. You think Van's going to leave with 2 black eyes? Ashton says Cruel versus Lance Archer is going to be an amazing match, and it might be for the AEW International Championship. Patrick, is that why Memphis Wrestling is an island compared to the rest of the UWN? Memphis Wrestling basically operates pretty much on its own. So we book our own events, XYZ. I mean, name it. That's what we do. And then also Derby City does their own, and then Championship Wrestling out in Hollywood does their own. So they are all under the same umbrella as we are partners, but they all operate independently. Terrence Ward, see you tomorrow, brother. What does that say, McLick? Is that McLick? What do you think of Bobby Fulton's son, Jaron Fulton, wrestling in Memphis Wrestling? I do not know Jaron Fulton, so I can't give you an accurate answer until I've seen Jaron Fulton. Patrick says, it seems Memphis Wrestling has more talent than UWN. UWN should have more talent on their roster. I don't know. I think UWN's pretty loaded. Eric says Memphis was the bar for the territories. Every wrestler who was anyone went through Memphis. I'm so happy to see Memphis Championship Wrestling climbing back up. Thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate that. You made my day. Coley says, what's happening today? Dr. Tom Pritchard is in the house. He's going to be here doing a pro wrestling seminar. Get more information at WrestleCenter901.com. Willie says Diana Taylor and Cassandra Golden should be a tag team. Arturo says my money's on the Pope. And Rob says, see most of you tomorrow on UWN and Derby City Wrestling. Thank you for that, Rob. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining me and interacting here on YouTube. Tomorrow, he's right. Not only do we have a live television taping here at the WrestleCenter, get your tickets at memphiswrestling.tv, but right here on this YouTube channel at noon is Championship Wrestling presented by CarShield. And then at 1 p.m. is Derby City Wrestling from Louisville. Right here on this YouTube channel, you can enjoy the live chat just like you did today. Old School Dave, see you later, brother. Steve G, see you next week. Murray, see you tomorrow. Memphis Wrestling as we're ready to run our St. Jude show in Pontotoc. Come on out. That's right, literally 1 hour from the WrestleCenter. Says if you can't make it and want to donate, buy tickets. That is a very good point. The Pontotoc Run Club and Memphis Wrestling are tag teaming to raise funds for St. Jude. That's on Saturday, August 19th. I believe it's like a 5 p.m. bell time, or it's an early bell time, so that way we can get in there and then go hang out afterwards down the street. But anyways, all the proceeds will go to benefit St. Jude. We want to see you there. Go to memphiswrestling.tv for more information. And if you are watching from Canada or you're outside of the market and you do want to donate to this cause, purchase a ticket and then send me a message, and we will make sure that that seat is filled. And we will give that ticket to somebody that needs it, somebody that can't afford a ticket. So you can actually help with this fundraiser even from a distance. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow, Ben. Oh, yeah. Do you know if Derby City Wrestling is a replay tomorrow? I have no idea. Willie, see you later. Eric, 5-star. Oh, yeah. All right, Lurvy, I will see you guys later. Vicky, take care. I am Dustin Starr. This is the live reaction for episode 125, and I will see you at bell time. Oh, yeah. Bo's running late. Man, you got to catch up on a whole hour of action. See you guys later.